For those of you who've joined us before, this format will look familiar. And for those of you just joining us for the first time today, basically how this will work is I will share with one of our champions who has been really involved in the campaign. So we'll be asking him some questions, and these will follow a similar format to the questions we've asked before, but we would really want to be able to capture a bunch of the different ways that champions across sectors have been able to implement the campaign. So it's my pleasure to introduce one of our champions, Mark Wilson. So Mark is a mining and technology operations supervisor at Finning Canada. Finning Canada sells and rents equipment to customers in industries like mining, construction, and forestry. So Mark, as you can see up here on the screen, has been a champion since January 2022. And I feel like I should probably mention that he's become something of a buddy up celebrity with multiple interviews about the campaign with CBC and other publications. So welcome, Mark. We're pleased to have you. And I see you've come on screen there, and feel free to welcome everybody.
Hey, please. Hey, everybody. Good morning for those of you in BC, and afternoon for everybody else in Alberta. So, yeah, Mark Wilson. Glad to be here. Very grateful to be invited. So,
well, we're very grateful to have you, and thanks for taking the time. So, without further ado, we'll get straight into questions. So, Mark, for those of us who don't know, and I mentioned very little, sort of the Spark Notes version of what it is Finning does, but can you tell me a little bit about what it is you do?
Yeah, so Finning in general is the largest Caterpillar dealer in the world. The department I work with is technology, and the crew that I work with, we're up in the oil sands. I run a crew that converts Caterpillar's largest haul truck, the 797, from manual to autonomous. So the trucks come in being driven, and they go out from us driving on their own.
Very cool. So very male-dominated industry. Can you tell us, perhaps as a bit of a generalization, obviously in broad strokes, what is the male culture like within your workplace culture?
Yeah, so the oil sands in general, it's very male orientated. It is, over the years that I've been there, it has changed. The diversity has changed, but it's very, masculine, tough, especially the tradesman side of life, and it's all big hammers and lots of testosterone flying around. So it's pretty masculine for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like Thor, the superhero, the way you just described it there. Anyhow, shifting back to Buddy Up, what is it that prompted you to get involved? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I'm a veteran, a UK veteran from the military, and so I've had a window into that side of life throughout the years, and it was basically I've worked this 2 in 2 out for quite a number of years now, and it's really hard on family life and on mental health for myself as well. And it was last Christmas, I was dropping my youngest daughter off at school, and she was going back to her mum, and I was going back to work, and she just said to me, Dad, I haven't seen very much of you lately, and and we'd like to spend a bit more time together. And that hit me pretty hard, and kind of dipped my my feelings, and so I reached out and looked at one of the websites that we use, which is where our benefits are, Sun Life, and there is a mental health side of there, and Buddy Up was on there, and I got looking into it, and the statistics and really everything, the information really shocked me, and I was thinking, if I'm going through this right now before Christmas, I'm pretty sure my crew's going through it too, because those guys have been up there working for a long time in those sort of situations too. So I basically reached out to my crew and our team and put it out there, and the response from the team was just phenomenal. I got a couple of guys that were the ones that took it on board, and they really championed it from there, and it's snowballed since that.
It certainly has. So I want to park there for a moment. Mark said something interesting that I'm not sure everybody caught, but if you've been with us before, you've definitely heard us sort of try to talk about why this campaign is focused on men. And further to that, how women can be involved. So men do die by suicide 3 times more often than women, and those are the stats. That often leaves people approaching Buddy Up saying, okay, if I'm not a man, what's my role? Well, Mark just mentioned how it snowballed from an original conversation that he had with his daughter. And I think that's a really good demonstration of how no matter who you are, you will always know a man. And often those sorts of relationships are super valuable in actually being able to start this conversation and get things moving with this campaign. So bit of a side note there, but I did want to point that out for anybody who missed that. And it's a great little anecdote there, Mark. So again, after it snowballed, you said it snowballed, but there's a lot wrapped up in that. So what have you and your group done to engage with the Buddy Up campaign?
So we basically, a couple of the guys reached out and myself and got the goodie pack, the air fresheners and the stickers and the booklets. And from there, it basically, I reached out to my upper management and just to give kudos to the guys that were getting involved. And it just went from there, email after email, Mark, can we talk, and then executive level got involved, and it just absolutely exploded. And I asked, if Finnin could become a champion company, and it was just something that was really responded well, and yeah, everybody got excited about it. So it was really, really cool to see.
Amazing. And again, if you've been with us before, it's becoming a bit of a common theme where often it only takes one employee with Buddy Up who's passionate about the cause to bring it to their team and then have it basically go through much of the organization and have a lot more pull throughout the organization. So again, if you're joining us today and you're part of an organization, or maybe you want to take Buddy Up campaign to whichever group you might be a part of, I would love to encourage you, don't be discouraged by the fact that you're just one person, because often that's all it takes. And so, Mark, I'm wondering, tell me a little bit more about some of the interviews you've done as well. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. So it was, it kind of took off, and I kind of feel that it wasn't, I was just the face of what happened from the beginning. The guys actually took them, they championed it. So it kind of came back to me, and yeah, CBC. I've spoke to a couple of newspapers up in Fort McMurray, just spreading the word basically. And we also did an interview series we have a homepage called Traction, which is the Finnin-wide website. And we did, the three of us, Kaylee and myself and Dustin, did interviews for that. So it got to be seen Finnin-wide. And yeah, it was, I was just so proud to be part of spreading the word, and so proud of my guys too. Like, they just took it on board, and it was really cool to see.
I love that. Just your last comment there, that you're so proud of your guys, because I think that's really thrust of a lot of this campaign, is that, it's about guys for guys, and really building on that camaraderie. So in an industry where maybe that's already in place, it's cool to see how it sort of flourished with the campaign.
Yeah.
As far as now, your whole organization having basically been exposed to this campaign, I'm wondering if you have any great success stories, or which that in itself is a success story, but maybe any other examples of sort of the impact that you've seen Buddy Up make on your organization.
Yeah, Blaze, it's been amazing. Even people from different parts, different branches all over Canada have reached out to me, and shared their stories. And I know at HQ in Edmonton, it's just this Buddy Up plastered absolutely everywhere. When you come through the main door into reception, it's everywhere. The stickers, the air fresheners, the booklets, the posters, and I just think I've actually got a meeting tomorrow with some new hires going to a different branch that are interested in Buddy Up. So I got a meeting tomorrow afternoon, and then another one next week for a couple of management that are wanting to get involved and become champions as well. So it's just, yeah, it's fantastic. It's taken off, and the word's getting spread. I think it's amazing.
That is amazing. That's incredible. Wow. And maybe final thought here, Mark, is getting really practical for people who might be considering bringing this to their organization. Are there any tips or tricks or learnings? Again, as you've mentioned, it's sort of snowballed. And you even said you sort of feel bad being all of a sudden the face perhaps of this because it was a lot of other people doing things. But do you have any learnings like that that might be valuable for people to know?
Just be courageous and just, reach out to your management and just, I know with my guys, it was a bit, the engagement was hard a little bit at the beginning. So it's just getting that conversation going and having the courage to bring it up and having stories yourself if you've got any experience, and reaching out to your management and just like we have a barbecue once a month and get the boys together and we all chat, and it's just a great team environment. And we also do the campaign. So we did the one in June and the one right now, the exercise one that we were just talking about. So just getting people involved and just saying, hey, this is we need to spread the word and get this out there and break the stigma, basically.
Awesome. And I know I said that was the last talk, but having brought Power Up, I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about what your crew has been doing for the exercise portion of that.
Yeah, so I'm currently working from home right now, so I haven't really seen them, but we still chat. And so a lot of the guys are, they do know about the mental side of exercise and taking that mental break. I know a few of us do journal. I journal too and meditate as well, and it just helps. And so we were doing basically now toolbox talks. We do a stretch and flex, and that turned into a bit of a press up competition and a few other things going on. So the guys, we're constantly engaged every day, and it's just amazing to see.
That's great. Well, thank you, Mark. I certainly appreciate you taking the time today, and it's been such a pleasure talking to you leading up to this and during. We're obviously, as a Buddy Up team, so excited to see the incredible work you guys are doing at Finning. And how it really has been embraced with a lot of vigor at Finning. So that's been super encouraging for us to see. And I'm sure everybody here can also take something away from what you told us.